dealing with another clipper that's going to pass through parts of the north central. So get ready. We're already seeing some of those snow showers across portions of northern Minnesota that will stretch across the Great Lakes. And then what's to come after that? Some bitter cold, an Arctic invasion. It is going to be returning for us later on tonight and then really becoming more widespread by Wednesday before we look at the threat for another storm system that could bring some more snow. So here's the ongoing snow showers with the clipper. The thing with this clipper is it's going to stay from west and traveling to the east across the upper Great Lakes, kind of bordering the Canadian border. And I think north of that, that's where you'll find the highest snow amounts, and you can kind of see we're in a little bit of a transition. We mentioned yesterday that we would have some milder air in place for places like Rapid City. You could still see that southerly flow out ahead. So it's just a little bit of a break from the cold air before it really starts to kick into high gear. Rapid City right now, you're at 46, Bismarck 35, Duluth 22, seeing 20s all the way down to places like Chicago and Indianapolis, St. Louis 29 degrees. So you get a little bit of some mild conditions for January. We're tracking that clipper as it stretches its way from parts of the north central across the upper Great Lakes. Notice how it kind of just borders that Canadian border, and then you'll notice the deeper shades of blue. That's where you can see the higher snow totals. Again, I do think that's going to be north of the Canadian border, and then eventually working its way across some parts of the northeast by the time we head into Wednesday afternoon. Maybe we could see some enhancement with that energy, bringing additional lake effect snow showers to parts of Buffalo, Watertown, New York, so central and upstate New York. Again, though, AccuWeather Local Storm Max putting the highest amount of 15 inches, really going to be an extreme northeast Minnesota stretching across Lake Superior and really well north of the Canadian border. Other than that, you're looking at a general 3 to 6 inches for some places. But it's the Arctic intrusion that I mentioned Tuesday afternoon, so today through Wednesday afternoon, where some places like Duluth down to Minneapolis and Des Moines, you could be feeling a huge temperature change here in the next 24 hours by at least 30 to 40 degrees, and waking up tomorrow morning, just some bitterly cold air, in fact dangerous cold. AccuWeather real field temperatures will feel like 30 to 40 below zero for Fargo, Grand Forks, Winnipeg, Minot, and places like Bismarck stretching down to southern Minnesota. You could feel like 10 to 20 plus degrees below zero. It's going to be cold and blustery throughout much of the day. The wind should help actual air temperatures not actually be that cold, but it will make it feel much colder than that, especially because of how dry this air mass is. So high temperatures only getting to zero. That's it for Bismarck, Duluth, 2 degrees, Minneapolis 5 for your Wednesday, Sioux Falls 8 degrees, Omaha 16 degrees for that high temperature. You stay 10 to 20 below normal even as we head into Thursday, and notice how this is starting to spread its way to the east-southeast, and that colder air will definitely stretch its way for places like, say, Springfield. You'll be seeing a high of 13 by the time you head into Thursday, Chicago 17, so get ready for the cold now. Even into the northeast, we're really going to be experiencing some of that cold air too, but we're also going to track that clipper that I mentioned. Not for too many places, but it's a strong cold front during our midweek that we'll also be tracking, and then the potential for another weekend storm. So right now, just seeing the end of the moisture here, still have some energy going on across parts of the eastern Great Lakes off of Erie and Ontario, so places like Buffalo, you're still tacking on some snow accumulation, and it is just still windy, especially along the coastal areas, Portland and Boston, New York City, 25 miles per hour for your wind speeds right now. Gusts could be even higher than that. So surely it is just a chilly morning out there for so many. We hold on to the bitter cold across parts of northern New England. It's still going to be chilly across the mid-Atlantic. See that milder air slowly kind of inches its way closer for, I would say, some of us for Tuesday, then some of us more so for Wednesday. Richmond to D.C., you have 40s and 30s in your forecast. You can tell that you get that milder air in play out ahead of this cold front, but here's the next clipper that we're watching as that stretches its way through the midweek and the end of the week to parts of New England. It's the cold front attached to it that we have to watch. We'll get this surge of moisture from the south that could enhance some shower development, but we'll definitely have cold air in place back behind it. And what does that mean? Are we going to start with some rain showers, an icy mix again? See that quick transition to snow showers? That's what we're tracking Wednesday night into Thursday. So follow the front with me. We'll start off with some rain showers. That cold air is going to try to sneak in back behind it. You can see that with that pink indicating you'll get a little bit of mixing going on before you get a transition to some snow showers early Thursday morning for places like, say, D.C. to Philly and New York. Also have to be concerned about another minor icing situation that could happen across parts of the Carolinas before this thing is out of here. So with that cold air in place, we could see some of that freezing going on again, rapidly falling temperatures. We could see some flash freezing as well. Then just cold air in place for the northeast, 10 to 20 degrees lower than what it will be on Wednesday for your Thursday. So keep that in mind. In fact, high temperatures for many on Thursday will be the warmest of the week, and by the time you get to we'll watch the development of a low pressure system, and the placement once again for this low will depend on what we're going to see with our
good news there. You have high pressure and control, so it's a quiet start for you. However, it's a cold start still. You have to grab the heavy winter coat for places like Lexington, Nashville, Atlanta. here in the 30s. You can see some 40s and even 50s out across Corpus Christi and Houston. So there is some milder air on the way, and it will be returning and expanding to parts of the southeast later on this afternoon. But we have to also talk about the drier air that's in place with the warmer temperatures, the drier air, and some gusty winds really expected across parts of north central Texas. This will be an area to watch. That's also because we have the elevated and critical levels for fire risk today, so keep that in mind. Limit the use of outdoor burning if you can. I mentioned that southerly flow and how it expands. Here we go for Tuesday, and I think it's going to be noticeably different. About 5 to 10 degrees warmer than what you felt yesterday. So some good news there. However, if you're along the coastal areas and even down across Miami, your temperatures in Miami are not going to be getting out of the mid to upper 60s for today. So that's pretty cold. For some January temperatures. Take a look though. Houston, you're bouncing back to 70s along with Dallas. Nice dividing line there though. You can see that colder air that is in place across parts of North Texas. And so by Wednesday, we will start to see some of those changes. You're warm out ahead of the front, and back behind it, you have that colder air in place. Now, out ahead of it, you're going to get a warm surge of moisture, and right along this boundary, we could see some heavy downpours, also the chance for some strong thunderstorms. We do have a marginal risk out from Houston all the way up to portions of Mississippi, Greenville, and even Tupelo. You are included in that, and I do think maybe one or two could turn locally severe with some of those gusty winds and heavy rain. Wanted to show you future satellite radar composite loop as we go on throughout the day on Wednesday. Look at this line developing all the way from, say, Nashville, point south through parts of Mississippi and all the way just to the north and west of Houston. Keep that in mind. Good time to download the AccuWeather app so you can get those warnings and alerts on your phone as they do come in. Colder air rushing in on the back side of this. We could see some of that precip transition as temperatures take a tumble Wednesday night to maybe a little bit of an icy mix, and also the potential to see some snow showers too. But here's the freeze-up potential that we're looking at all the way from portions of West Virginia down to parts of Huntsville, Alabama. Nashville, you're included in that too, so really pay attention Wednesday night, and if you're getting up early Thursday morning, we could have some very slick conditions. In the Northeast, got